The title of today's CIRF report might as well be, uh-oh. This is September 18th, 2018. I'm Chris McCleary with your daily CIRF report, looking for the biggest collective influence that might be affecting the way you think, feel, and behave. But we also want to know how to surf that, especially on a day like today. And just to give you a little clue on what we're looking at, it's not looking pretty. And the DreamBot, the astrology does seem to agree. Let's go ahead and get started. In the astrology, we have, there is going to be a factor in the collective dreams. We still have communication, so Mercury and Sun is conjunct in Virgo. So they kind of are holding hands here, inching closer and closer together. We have the moon that is transiting through Capricorn, and it is going to be conjunct with Pluto today. This is going to start being part of our little uh-oh. And then we have Mars square Uranus, which any sort of square is going to be more of a contentious type of aspect. So, you know, Mars being the fighter and Uranus being the change agent, we have a tendency to rebel or impulsive or acting rashly. And then any action that you have is kind of has potential disastrous consequences, so painful consequences or accidents or that sort of thing. So you really need to be careful, particularly on things that are already hazardous. Today is a day of basically non-doing. And, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's the troubling aspect, is because Moon is transiting, you got all these planets in Capricorn and all the Earth signs. But the Moon transiting Capricorn can tend to make you feel like you need to be doing something. And that's the problem today, is because any of your doing has a chance of bad consequences, of disruptive consequences, unexpected things that happen as a result of your actions. So today's is very difficult in that regard, is because the influence is to do stuff, is to goal orient and do action, but you have these potential consequences. So it's a day to slow down. And then the moon conjunct Pluto, you can have some transpersonal experiences, and transpersonal being beyond the self. So vivid dreams or precognitive dreams or intuitions or a deja vu experiences or hallucinations. What looks like mainstream would be hallucinations. And maybe sometime I'll put a video out on transpersonal experiences, and so you can kind of get a better idea for what's happening there. But Pluto being the subconscious, and all this subconscious material starts overwhelming and coming up into the psyche, and you still may not even be aware of it, but it's happening and you get overwhelmed with these feelings. Apparently females are more subjected to this. Who knows if that is true or not, but maybe that's sexist to even suggest, who knows. But nonetheless, these horrible feelings, or maybe not even horrible, but just overwhelming feelings, are going to get you to do stuff again, because we like to distract ourselves away from feelings that don't feel very good. So there's more action, there's more emphasis on action. And before we get into how to surf this, let's look at the DreamBot. And this is the collective dreams. Oh my gosh, the first three words, entering shitstream. Is there any other question about where the collective mind is? In the red arrows, spaceship landing, that kind of feels more transpersonal, right? Not everybody gets these spaceship landing experiences every day. So spaceship landing, feel, whoops, I did the wrong thing here, dark and trapped. Okay, we got it sorted out now. And now the blue and the red arrows are all the the aspect. So Mars square Uranus and the Moon conjunct Pluto. I would say the latter is more in this DreamBot run in the red arrows than the Mars aspect. Blue arrows is the back to the communication. So sending, messenger, know. Paul, we talked about yesterday, Paul wrote 18 books or 13 books of the New Testament. Notified and pointer. These are all communication words. So communication is still very prominent, and that's a good thing. And that's going to go into our solution. But before I get into the solution, 18. Oh gosh, got to get rid of. Okay, 18, communication and learning. That's our numerology today. It's all down here. The influences are down here in the communication of Mercury. And then this shit stream up here in the upper part of the astrology chart. All right, let's get into the solutions. And if you like this concept of knowing what the biggest influence is on any given day and how to surf those energies, then click subscribe and the little bell next to it so you get notified of new whatever these things are. Boy, communication may not be as good as what the numerology and the CIRF is saying. So how do we surf this? And as I suggested earlier, it's a day of non-doing. In general, I mean, obviously we've got to do stuff, or some of us have to do stuff. You can't just lay around all day. Got to go to work, got to make money to pay the bills, etc., etc. So I'm not saying don't do anything. What I'm saying is just put in your mind that today is more of a slow down, relaxed day. To be more of an observer of the day than the person doing all the stuff, particularly with hazardous work or extreme sports or that sort of thing. Stuff with painful consequences have a higher tendency on a day like this. So maybe forego those types of things. And what do we do instead? Especially with that Pluto Moon conjunction, what do we do instead is communicate, express, but there's a tendency there even to piss people off or upset other people. And so we really got to pay attention to what we're saying. And so the solution is go into your creative mode. Creativity, we can have scientific breakthroughs, we can have specific problem sets that can be solved by creative thinking. You can go in to do dream work. We can do artistic outlays and bring out your subconscious in creative endeavors like writing music, writing a song, or dance, movement, that sort of thing. It's a day of expressions that don't have high propensity for negative consequences. That is, in my opinion, the best way to surf the shit stream that might be coming down today. Become the observer, do less action, and slow down and be very mindful of what you're doing before you carry out and do it. If you do run into frustrations and resistance, that is a great reminder for you to stop what you're doing and just kind of reflect. Am I doing something the wrong way? You don't have to be hyper vigilant of yourself and making too much a big deal about potential problems, because there's millions of different problems that could happen. Just slow down is all right? Slow down, particularly when you see the resistance and the frustration, and you make the best of this day today. Have a wonderful day, and let me know if this is helpful or not. We're the National Dream Center, healing the collective psyche, one mind at a time. Thanks again for being here.